And why don't you tell us how you did?
So, I was leaving Washington, D.C. on my way to Abu Dhabi, which, as you know, is a 13-hour flight. And I was sat next to a man in the little pod, Etihad Business. My first time flying Etihad Business, actually. Lovely experience, usually an Emirates girl. And he looked a bit familiar. I was like, oh, he's probably one of those guys who just has a familiar face, you know? And so then we land. I'm very tired. I have lots of bags, as usual. And a buggy shows up, and I end up the only person in the buggy. And this tall gentleman who was sat next to me proceeds to tease me for being lazy and not walking and getting my steps in. And honestly, he would be right. To which case I said, well, fine, you can carry my bags. Long story short, we get through security and suddenly he gets mobbed and all these people are taking selfies with him. And I'm like, am I supposed to know who you are?
So the long and short of the story is that you don't know who Arsène Wenger is, but you do now.
He
So
did tell
we
me
did
that he
speak.
wanted to do an
Yeah,
interview with me.
we spoke and interacted with him backstage, and he was impressive in real life as he seems on the media. And he did a session. I would think it would be fair to say he was the star speaker of the
Definitely.
bridge. He was definitely the
The
biggest.
closing act.
Him and Idris Elba
Mhm.
and Priyanka Chopra.
Idris Bend, he
Yeah,
closed.
but he basically closed out the summit today and gave an enormously interesting presentation. We should say he is a global ambassador for FIFA. He works on global development of football for FIFA and had fascinating things to say about kind of promoting football academies around the world. Very interesting. He was interviewed by Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV. What Robbie didn't ask him, of course, was about the events of last week when President Donald Trump was presented the inaugural FIFA World Peace Prize in the Oval Office at the time of the launch of the draw, I should say, for the World Cup, which is going to be in the United States, Canada, and Mexico next year. So that was a controversial question, which probably ought to have been asked, but wasn't. And he hasn't done a press conference here, so I guess we'll have to wait to hear what he thinks both about that and about the Mo Salah story, which is the other big football story of the week, where Mo Salah is threatening to leave Liverpool effectively after the African Cup of Nations after being dropped from the Liverpool side. Nevertheless,
Mo Salah is threatening to come here
and Mo Salah is threatening
with
potentially
Cristiano
go
Ronaldo to join
Saudi
Ronaldo.
League, yes, where he could potentially play with Ronaldo on one of the other big Saudi sides. So that is the big football story of the week. But Arsène Wenger was, I think it would be fair to say, mobbed as he left the stage here
Oh,
by Arsenal fans in the audience trying to get their
get
picture taken
selfies
with him.
with
So he remains a kind of hugely significant figure. And I have to say, he spoke very engagingly about how a manager develops the relationship of trust with his players. He's an extremely philosophical character and quite unlike the sort of stereotypical football manager cliche. He's very much more fluent, given he's talking in his second language. He's an incredibly fluent and incredibly interesting character, whether